Welcome back, you're watching Tafili Space, and here are the top 5 news picks for the week. At number 5 this week, the Falcon 9 Heavy booster on display. One of the recycled SpaceX Falcon 9 rockets that launched from the historic Falcon Heavy system is hanging out at the Kennedy Space Center for a few days. The booster is a recycled Falcon 9 that flew another mission before being strapped to the side of the Falcon Heavy for its historic flight earlier this month. Both of the side boosters landed successfully at the nearby Cape Canaveral Air Force Station less than 10 minutes after liftoff. Later on this week, Vice President Mike Pence, the chairman of the National Space Council, will have a hearing on commercial spaceflight. At number 4, dust is burying NASA's Phoenix lander on Mars. This image of the area around the landing site of NASA's Phoenix Mars lander was captured by NASA's Mars Renaissance orbiter in July 2008. The lander is near the top and the back shell and the parachute are close to the bottom. The dark patch at the right was created by the impact of Phoenix's heat shield. A newly released photo suggests that dust is reclaiming the site near the Martian North Pole where Phoenix touched down nearly 10 years ago. The mission was supposed to last only 90 days, but the solar-powered lander kept operating for more than 5 months. Though Phoenix is long dead, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, MRO, is still going strong after nearly a dozen years at the Red Planet. The MRO has been extremely valuable for Mars exploration. It has been scouting out landing sites for future landed missions, searching for past water activity, and most importantly, relaying data from surface craft such as Phoenix and the Opportunity and Curiosity rovers back to their handlers on Earth. At number 3, Lost in Space reboot makes its way to Netflix on April 13th. Lost in Space is an American science fiction television series. The series follows the adventures of a pioneering family of space colonists who struggle to survive in a strange and often hostile universe after their ship is sabotaged and thrown off course. The show ran for 3 seasons, with 83 episodes airing between 1965 and 1968. The first season was filmed in black and white, with the second and third seasons filmed in color. Netflix's Lost in Space remake has been a long time coming, but it's finally here. The streaming service has revealed that the sci-fi show will debut on April 13th, 2018. The show appears to take a more serious tone and reflect much of what we've learned about space in the roughly 50 years since the original TV series.
It lowers my thermal balance to a point where all senses perform at optimum efficiency.
Be still, you babbling bird brain. No one is interested in your state of health. Pull, Ninny.
Impact detected. Brace for impact. Brace for impact.
Danger, Will Robinson.
At number 2, the RS-25 engines are turned all the way up. The 262nd engine firing at Stennis Space Center in Mississippi represented the toughest test yet for the RS-25 engine. Stennis' test firings are aimed at certifying that the upgrades on the engines work as planned, and that the engines can perform at the highest power ratings required by the SLS. NASA intends to use the SLS for missions to the Moon, Mars, and other deep space destinations, but the rocket's critics say other heavy lift vehicles such as the Falcon Heavy or Blue Origin's yet to be built New Glenn could be configured to do what needs to be done less expensively and more frequently. In the main story this week, Vice President Pence hosts National Space Council. Vice President Mike Pence returned to NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida on February 20th. The primary focus for the Vice President's trip was to talk about Moon, Mars, and the worlds beyond it. It included testimonials from leaders in the civilian, commercial, and national security sectors about the importance of the United States space enterprise. The National Space Council's role is to advise the President on America's space policy and strategy, and review the nation's long-range goals for space activities. The Council includes leaders in government from both civil and military space programs. The Vice President explained that the President has directed NASA to extend its exploration expeditions to the outer reaches of our solar system. To do that, NASA's Space Launch System, SLS, and Orion continue in development as critical backbone elements for moving further into deep space.
Over the past year, I've had the privilege to travel across this country to meet with men and women who are forging America's future in space. In Huntsville, Alabama, I met the engineers and technicians working on the Space Launch System that will send American astronauts back to the magnificent desolation of the moon and on to the red sands of Mars. At California's Mojave Spaceport, I climbed aboard a spaceship that will carry the first generation of space tourists to the edge of the Earth's atmosphere to peer into the cosmic expanse of the heavens. And I walked atop the massive vessel that will soon launch satellites while soaring through the skies. I saw with my own eyes the innovations that are born when America's entrepreneurs and captains of industry turn their gaze to the infinite frontier, and it's inspiring. At Schriever Air Force Base, I saw the strength of our surveillance, navigation, and communication system that support America's men and women in uniform as they defend our families and our freedom around the world. And at the Redstone Arsenal, I saw the steps we're taking to strengthen our national security capabilities in space and to meet threats that are posed by aggressive pursuit of anti-satellite capabilities. America will continue to be as dominant in the heavens as we are on the earth.
That's all we have for this week. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.